20 years have passed since first contact. 20 years since the world changed forever, in an instant, and in the most aggressive fashion. The new governing body, the Council, dictates what's best for everyone's safety. They're building something, calling it a Guardian, to protect us in the event of a second encounter. I don't know about you, but I don't think it's gonna be ready in time. The final station is a 2D shooter train conductor hybrid from Do My Best and Tiny Build, and it's one doozy of a genre mashup. In it, you experience, from the beginning, the Earth's second encounter with some kind of foreign species or element in the ensuing disastrous events as society pretty much collapses. The game portrays the beginnings of an apocalypse incredibly well, with some of the towns that you visit having absolutely no idea that a second encounter is even happening, and that's due to separation from the surrounding areas or, in some cases, the loss of networked communications entirely. The environmental storytelling is really strong in the final station, with everywhere you stop having notes to find and bits scattered around the level that hint at what the area was like beforehand, or even what people were doing or what they worked on when the encounter reached their location. It's a very melancholy game, but there's always some glimmer of hope. From the moment that things start really going south, there's always something to push you, the player, forward. Being a train operator, you get tasked with delivering components vital to humanity's survival to where they're needed, along the way gathering what survivors you can. The final station doesn't just give you something to serve as hope, it makes you the hope. You, a humble train operator, are what's needed for our survival. Despite the fact that you're, suddenly super important and whatnot, your superiors still leave you in the dark on some things. There's a vagueness to the orders that you're given that makes it seem like they're withholding information, and it keeps you on your toes. As you progress through the game, bits and pieces are revealed, and you begin to put the puzzle pieces together as you, and those around you, learn the nature of what's really going on. The way the narrative is delivered is just... man, it's just awesome. I dig it. The gameplay boils down to some pretty simple mechanics. During train segments, you need to ensure all the parts of the train stay in working order and don't overload. Different parts of the train have different things that you need to do, and the first time is always a bit of a puzzle. I've only ever had to worry about one component at a time, but maybe I'm just lucky. You also need to take care of your passengers, giving food and medkits to those who need them. Passengers will talk to each other as the journey goes on, and there's some pretty awesome dialogue between them. Thankfully, they only talk while you're in the cart with them, so you usually don't miss anything. Then there are town segments. These are simple 2D shooter levels that have you exploring abandoned settlements to scavenge supplies and get a code so that you can unblock the train and continue making progress. These levels build the world and its atmosphere like crazy, and some of them are pretty spooky. They're all handcrafted too, so there's a very fine balance to the difficulty in the game's story that gets told through not only the environments you visit, but also the placement of enemies and sometimes the corpses of not so lucky humans. Where the final station shines is, honestly, its level design and storytelling. The mechanics it presents aren't super unique or groundbreaking, but everything it does is top-notch and insanely well done. I'll admit that at first I was turned off by the idea of another zombie game, but take it from me that it's far more than just a zombie game. It takes a chance and focuses on telling an interesting tale in an interesting way about humanity and how it reacts to a near world-ending event and how we react 20 years later when it happens again. You can pick it up on Steam for about $15. If you want an interesting story and solid challenges, then this is one for you. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Indie Bytes. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please remember to leave a like and subscribe for more stuff like this. Be sure to check out the other content that we put out on this channel, and remember to drop me a line here on Twitter or through email with any game recommendations that you've got. You can find all that stuff down in the description below. I'll see you next time. Bye!